Hello, I'm Ros Atkins. This is BBC News with the latest headlines for viewers in the UK and around the world. Scotland is bidding a solemn farewell to Queen Elizabeth. Crowds have paid their respects in near silence as King Charles and his siblings followed her funeral cortege on foot as it made its way up Edinburgh's Royal Mile. As their mother's coffin lies at rest in St Giles Cathedral, King Charles and other members of the royal family have been standing vigil. Well, this is the scene at the moment in the cathedral where members of the public are continuing to file past to pay their respects. On Tuesday, Queen Elizabeth's coffin will make its final journey to London. Earlier in the day, King Charles made his first address as monarch to MPs at Westminster, pledging to follow his mother's example.
She set an example of selfless duty, which, with God's help and your counsels, I am resolved faithfully to follow.
There's one other story we'll also follow this hour. Ukraine says it's recaptured 20 towns and villages in the space of 24 hours. Russia has retaliated by knocking out power and water supplies.
This is the most significant Russian withdrawal since they pulled out from Kyiv in late March. The human cost for both countries remains huge, and on whether it's a price worth paying, the majority of Ukrainians feel there is no choice. This is about survival.
Well, to those of you watching on the BBC News channel, on BBC World News and on PBS in America, a warm welcome. People in Edinburgh have had the first chance to pay their respects to the late Queen Elizabeth ahead of her state funeral next Monday. Thousands of people lined the streets as her coffin was taken from the Palace of Holyrood House up the Royal Mile to St Giles's Cathedral for a service of thanksgiving honouring her life. King Charles led the royal family in solemn procession behind his mother's coffin. King Charles, along with Princess Anne and Princes Andrew and Edward, have held a vigil by Queen Elizabeth II's coffin in St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. The Queen will now lie at rest in the cathedral for 24 hours before being flown to London tomorrow evening. The BBC's Alan Little reports.
This will be